Hi, I'm Matt Genovese.
And I'm Barbara Salisbury from Job Cannon.
And welcome to the Job Cannon show, I guess.
Job Cannon Show.
We're still working out the name, but this will work for now.
If you have a great name, you can send it to us.
That's right, that'll work. So what are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about what an aggressive job search looks like.
All right.
So we've had quite a bit of feedback about folks really feeling a lot of confusion and in their job search and how to conduct their job search. In fact, we had a lady in a couple weeks ago that actually said to us that she wishes somebody would just tell her what to do. And so as we were visiting about that and talking about that, we realized that no one really goes to school to be a job seeker. And really, for the most part, for, really the duration of our childhood and into our adult life, we're actually told what to do. Someone is actually telling us what to do. So it's really not that, odd for her to be feeling that way because of school schedules.
At work you have autonomy to a degree, but you still are given things to do and tasks to do, and you're reporting back,
meetings to be at certain times, and meetings with your manager or meetings with other groups or whatever.
That's right.
So for the most part, your day is structured for you.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting that it's really leaving a lot of people really floundering when they are the ones that are put in charge of driving something their whole day, their whole week. They're in charge of driving this job search. And so we really wanted to talk today a little bit about job boards and what that looks like, and then as well about organization. And then we want to talk a little bit about networking and just kind of the balance in there. And we're not going to tell you what to do, but we're going to give you a little bit of a baseline to maybe go by. So.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So job boards are useful out there. I mean, there's plenty of them out there. There's national job boards. There's local job boards, for areas. Mm-hmm. There's industry-specific job boards, and they all have a use. And in fact, the use that I think of it is as you're getting a look into the job market. And if you envision the job market as an actual marketplace where supply and demand rule, just like in any other marketplace, then you can use that to your benefit. So if you look out there and you see that there are plenty of jobs available for a certain type of a certain category of job, then you could look at that as demand, and that the demand is high for that. All right, and likewise, if you find very little jobs out there, then the demand is low, and so your supply, obviously, your supply and demand curve are going to have to cross at some point for you to get the job. So you can use that as a research tool to find out where the supply is and where the demand is, or actually where the supply is, and then where the demand is, and then the supply is you. Yeah,
That's right. So
where's the demand for your talent? You can also use it to say, do you need to tweak your resume at all in order to basically be found by these companies? Because there are companies searching also. I mean, they're posting jobs, but they're searching through candidates on job boards to find somebody that can fill those requirements. And so if you don't have certain skills on your resume listed explicitly, then they'll never find you, and they're looking for you and you're looking for them. So you do need to use that job board as a research tool for checking out your own resume and validating that you have indeed all of your skills listed on there.
So as you're searching then and seeing these listings, you can find words, keywords, and skill sets perhaps that these companies are looking for, and update your resume and show that it reflects these things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the job boards are important, but you have to remember that a job board is a place where companies are going to go when they can't find anybody else. So we're going to go into that a little bit later on about why networking is so important. A lot of people we talk to in their job search, they're spending all their time on job boards, and we think that's a mistake. And so we're going to talk more why about that later on. But the other thing that we want to talk about is the organizational aspect of keeping your job search organized so nothing slips through the cracks. Basically, actually, most people, when they go into the job search, they don't have a system in place to manage all the information. And you realize, when you're at work, there's systems all over the place to track all kinds of information. And then when you go into the job search, you have nothing. And you got to come up with your own system, and you've got to try it out yourself. And so, most folks are using spreadsheets, and they're using, websites over here, and they're using documents, folders, and spreadsheets to track what version of what document they sent to who, and and then when somebody calls,
Very inefficient.
yeah, exactly. When somebody calls, they're like, "Oh, did I send them a resume? I can't remember what version." And it's very difficult to track all that information. Which is what we happen to do at JobCan, and that's one of the things we want to do is say, look, let's focus on fixing that problem of organization,
Right.
so that you can spend time doing what's going to work.
Right.
All that time that you spend in organization is wasted time, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's wasted in terms of if you're spending all day on it, that's a wasted day.
All day. So there should be a balance in there, that it shouldn't
Exactly.
be taking you more than perhaps 10% of your time of your day
Sure.
to go in there, look at go looking at job boards, gather the information you need, storing that, as well as planning for your day.
The one thing that really I think most people are going to find beneficial is networking. And now I'm going to state this, that a lot of people talk about networking, and they preach networking, and rightly so. Networking is very, very important in your job search. But I think in terms of job seekers, I see some confusion about, well, okay, I hear all this about networking. How does that translate into an actual job?
Right,
All right.
right.
Because the coaches and the experts are telling me I need to do this, but I still don't have a job, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Right. Everybody kind of has their own definition of what networking is, and how do you make that productive. So folks saying they come home from a networking event and have a stack of business cards, then they don't know what to do. So kind of trying to define what networking is and how that is productive.
Exactly. So what we do at JobCan is we want to segment your network. We want you, basically, to help you segment your network by circles of influence. So you have an inner circle. And your inner circle are your close friends and your colleagues and people that you would consider, I think it's kind of easy to define. I mean, people kind of know what their inner circle looks like. People kind of know who's in there.
Closest.
And, you're closest to you. And those are the folks that can give you guidance on your career and maybe some leads into the job market
Right,
too, right? I mean,
right.
those are the people that really can give you some honest feedback and do it in a very supportive way.
Right. Exactly.
And so we advocate that at JobCan. In fact, our tool helps you to reach out to your network and reach out to your inner circle first. Is what we
Through
actually
email
start with.
templates and
That's right. We have email templates that are written to do that, and then you can reach out then to your wider network, where now you really get a larger sphere of influence.
Right.
And they're able to now look and say, well, hey, my neighbor works over at this company, and he's looking to hire somebody. And so now they bring you back and they say, okay, let's
just kind of connecting the dots. there.
exactly. Just get your
Yeah.
resume over there and refer you into that job. And that's that hidden job market that is often preached about, but is a little elusive sometimes. It
really
just
defined.
it's something that's very simple when you think about it. It's just knowing people inside the company who can get you into the job. And what we do here at JobCan is actually to help you reach out to your network so you can find those hidden opportunities. And when you do it through email, we do it through these this email system that we have and email templates that we have written already to help you manage that process.
Right. And we have I have this information here. It's actually what a weekly snapshot would look like, and we have that compliments of the Austin Job Seekers Network. But where we saw some confusion with folks is, how much of my day I should be spending doing what. Like we said, some people are spending all day on the job boards and not seeing any results, and other days, other folks are spending all day just organizing the information and still, not making any progress. So we thought this was really good. So for a benchmark, to look at if an ineffective job search, most of their time is spent on the job boards.
Sure.
So they're staying at home or they're in their home office, and these folks are just searching the job boards. And the report back is that they're not getting anything. They're not getting any leads. Their resume, even if they make contact, an initial contact, then it's kind of gone.
Yeah.
And then taking it a step up from there towards a more aggressive activity would mean having 3 to 5 face-to-face contacts. And that would mean face-to-face, you're meeting up with somebody, or you're doing an informational interview, or you're actually on the phone with someone. And then 3 to 5 contacts as well that are networking contacts. So that's more like LinkedIn groups,
Oh,
you know,
sure,
not
sure.
necessarily in having to go somewhere to do that, but that you're actually engaging with folks
Right.
on your LinkedIn groups or such. And then only half your time on the job boards. And so then taking it just one step further into a fully aggressive and where we want to be really highly involved snapshot would mean
Right.
10 to 15 face-to-face or phone conversations, 5 to 10 networking contacts, and again, that's the LinkedIn groups or such, and then the job board, no more than 15% is spent on that
Sure.
job board. So
Sure.
that's kind of, you know, a benchmark of
That's
where we
interesting.
want to be if we're an aggressive. And I think this is where there's been a lot of confusion, like what balance should there be in how I spend my time, you know, during the day.
Right. And that's very important. And you'll see here, I mean, this Austin, this Job Seekers Network validates, you know, what you should be doing. You should be going out and engaging with people, engaging with individuals and building relationships.
That's right.
Okay, and you can do that. You know, by when you email them, for example, you start building that relationship, and you maintain the context of your relationship too.
Right, that's
because
exactly right.
you know, when you want to be able to go back to somebody that you've met and restart the conversation and remind them where you all left off,
Right.
and remind them where you met. All right,
Right.
and the only way to do that is to track all that information, because you don't want to have to store it in your head, because
And that's part of that organizational
that's part of the
piece.
organization side, right? Don't be bothered with storing all that somewhere else. Store it in a place that it makes sense, and it's easy to access, and it's quick to get to, and you don't lose any information, and no information slipping through the cracks.
That's right. So that's coming home and not just putting a business card in a stack, but actually taking that business card,
Exactly.
putting that contact in there, and then also grasping and catching what kind of conversation you had. What did you talk about? What did they need? What were their needs? What were they looking for? And then that way you can pick that right back up the next time you're going to meet with them, and just be able
Exactly.
to go on or email them from there or whatever. And so, yeah,
In
just
fact,
capturing that.
You know, there's times where I've met somebody, you know, maybe a month ago, and then I'm out talking to somebody else, and they're telling me how much they need something that other person had. And because I have tracked that information, I can go and
back.
connect them back
Yes.
up, right, and make those
Yes.
connections. Now, it sounds like there's no benefit to you, but there is, because they both remember that
Yep.
you're the one that connected them back up.
That's exactly
and they
right.
want to, and both of them are now, you know, essentially looking to see how they can help you too.
Exactly
All right.
right.
So being able to be a connector is actually very powerful in your job search.
Oh, it is. It is. And so, you know, that's kind of brings us back around to, you know, what is the right way to function during the day, or how to drive your job search. And it's just like any successful company out there. They have processes in place. They have tools in place
That's right.
to capture this, to be able to go back and measure it at the end of the day to see, you know, how did I do and where did I
Exactly.
start, instead of just floundering around and, you know, knowing that the jobs are not coming from those job boards, that they're coming from that networking.
Exactly. And so in your job search, you need to have, you know, basically some kind of organization too. And that's where you have goals set up and have accountability set up with other
Yeah.
people. To,
Absolutely.
you know, because you know, essentially you don't have a manager anymore, so you have to be your own manager.
That's right.
All right. And you have to be able to put some tools in place and some things in place to help you manage your day and manage your own job search process, so you can be successful in it too. And it's a good way to do that is through accountability. That's probably something else we can talk about some other time.
Right.
Is accountability partners, and how that can help you keep you on track during your job search.
There's some more tips on here, and I think accountability is one of them. And are we going to be posting this?
Yep, I think we will post this with the video when
Okay,
we
great.
when
It's a
we get
job
that up.
search snapshot, so look for that. It does mention accountability and some other pieces as well.
Oh,
so,
very good.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
Well, I think we're all set for today.
Yep.
So thank you very much for joining us.
Yes,
and,
thank you.
We will see you next time. Take care.
Take care.